Oh, is it a dead heat? I think we've got a dead heat.
It's going to work off the wheelie again.
Oh, yes, both.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's what it is fine.
Look at how many cars are trying to go through here. They're 3 wide coming through. Squiddy's got fed out into the wall. They're 2 wide coming up through the cutting.
Oh, he's making a move on Viking Racer now into the dipper and does it. He's gone around the outside into the dipper. What a move.
Oh, he runs a little bit wide. He's on the grass.
Keep it clean. Come on, Oil, bring it home. It's
Showman's got the run.
Stand finish. Who's going to get it? Showman's got it. Oh, he's just taken out the win on the
West side down the hill. Captain's got his nose in front just barely. Oh, he has full trust in him. They're still side by side. Captain takes the position around the outside down the hill.
Around the outside.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to have 3 wide. Adam's going wide. Adam's going deep under the brakes under Rexy. Gets the pass done. Goes Adam from
Fourth to first.
What a move.
G'day everyone and welcome to Wheel to Wheel Racing. We're here for our first endurance round of the season at the almighty Daytona Oval track here, back in the Group 3s. Tonight with me on commentary is Viper's Fang.
Hey, good afternoon everybody and welcome to Daytona Beach, Florida, where we are in the sunshine and we are going round and round in circles. This is going to be a fun day.
Absolutely, should be quite an interesting one. Getting our inner NASCAR going. We got plenty of retro NASCAR liveries to have a little bit of a look at through the night as well. So that should be quite exciting. But before we get too far into that, we've also got Hammy on the visuals here tonight.
Hey, how you going, fellas?
Doing well.
Yeah,
So,
very well, thank you.
having a look here. So tonight's format, we're going to have a 5-minute qualifying session. So I'm expecting to see some pairings. We've got a couple of the Drive 25 guys in here. We've got a few of the, not 13R, a few of the, I'm having a total mental blank now, CP. In here we've got Showman and Seckers from Scooterita as well, so a couple of teamings I'm expecting to see forming up during qualifying for some bump drafting. And then into a 73 lap race around here with plenty of strategy going on, mostly around fuel.
Yeah, the tyres really don't play any significant role in this race. There is a mandatory tyre change in this race, but it's not really going to have any bearing on the race. So it's all about how much juice you use and when you use it. That's going to be the key to victory around Daytona today.
It certainly is, and the strategy is probably going to turn out to be either a 3-stop or a 2-stop, but we could see some cars being forced into 4 stops with bad gearing and quite high fuel usage. So it will be quite eventful. We'll see the Suzuki towards the front of the pack for the most part, I believe, and everyone trying to be tucking in behind. Couple cars that are going to struggle here tonight is the Mustang and the Aston Martin of Scooter 82 as well.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some disparity between cars in this round. The BOP settings for high-speed tracks have certainly helped some people and hurt some people. So it's going to be very interesting to see which cars can cope with the RPM and which ones can't. So it's all going to be about fuel, how much you can save, when you can use it, and who you can team up with.
Absolutely. And I'll let the guys know that quali should be kicking off shortly, so we'll start our quali now and see what the grid's going to be like. We're also taking a step away from our norm tonight here and going for a rolling start in honor of the Daytona Tri-Oval here, as it's feels a bit wrong to go from a standing start for an oval like this.
Yeah, tradition at Daytona would suggest a rolling start is definitely the way to go. and I think it's going to help with the first lap chaos. I think if we went for as Goat tries to negotiate the bus stop at full speed there. Yeah, I mean, it would have I think it would have created a massive amount of chaos with the standing start at Daytona, and I think it was a great decision to go with a rolling start.
Yep, absolutely, I agree with you there. And we're on the limiter for everyone here. It looks like Squiddy is rolling out of the pits first in the Mustang, representing the damn Hexicans, but he's gone for a NASCAR-themed livery. We'll give you a little more information on these liveries throughout the night to fill a bit of space, as we've got an hour of laps to keep going through.
Yeah, sit back, relax, grab some snacks. We're going to be here for a while.
Absolutely, we are. Second car out on track at the minute is Apex Humper, member of Drive25 Sim Sports. So he's trying to find his spot, feathering the throttle, down into 5th at the moment, so playing those little games that we see sometimes, trying to find your spot and find a slipstream buddy.
Yeah, it's all about who can get with their teammates and who can get with their dance partners early on in qualifying, and then push each other around.
Yeah, with that said, the next car on track is Tombo, the team leader of Drive25 Sim Sports, and already given Apex a bump, so they're going to take this lap to work up to speed and see what they can do.
Yeah, closely followed behind them is PLE Goat for CP Motorsport in the Porsche. Porsche, not the strongest car around Daytona, but it can hold its own in a pack. So we'll have to see if Goat can pull out some magic. He is the sole CP Motorsport driver in this division, so he's going to have to find some people to team up with to combat the massive amount of other teams.
If he can tuck in the back of this train. Oh, there's a bit going on the front straight here. Corbin and Squiddy are offline. Showman and Seckers coming to the line now. Seckers goes top with a 49.4. Of course, the Scuderia Quadrifoglio pairing there of Showman and Seckers. Catching up to Scooter 82 now. Scooter receiving a bump, which he'll very much appreciate, as that Aston is not great on top end. And to the top go Captain Lowside and DJ Stefko, the Suzuki McLaren pairing.
Yeah, strange bedfellows there, the Suzuki and the McLaren, but it looks like they're working well together.
Yeah, Suzuki with amazing power and top end speed, and the McLaren with really, really long gearing. So it pairs with the Suzuki quite well, which I would say is very unexpected out of these two, but they are purple yet again coming into the last corners. We'll see what kind of shuffle happens here as we have improvements all across the board for the rest of the pack.
Massive train. A massive train coming along pit straight now.
Yep, so that lap has seen Adam move up into 4th, Zoo is now up into 5th, Stefko and Lowside improve on 1st and 2nd again. Showman has broken free of this train on the back straight now, looking for a bump from Seckers and possibly to run the high line here. Scooter with a saving grace being in this pack as well, as that Aston Martin really struggles when it comes to top end speed.
You're going to have to get a couple of those boys behind them to join that high line, otherwise they're going to get out there and get stuck.
Here they come to the line. Improvements again from Apex, Scooter and Showman. Goat improves to a 50.2 as well, but still only good enough for 11.
Stefko's had an issue. And Captain as well.
I think they might just be calling
they might have
donuts there.
Yeah, looks like it.
It's still a massive pack coming down the back straight here. The two Scuderia boys still trying to do their own thing around the outside. If Adam joins the back of him, which it looks like he is, Zoo as well, taking that high line. Oh, they're getting a little squirrely up towards that wall. There's sparks flying out everywhere. They're still not matching those two Nissans. Apex moves up high, and Showman trying to squeeze through is to not give Apex the bump.
3 wide.
Showman. Oh, Zoo up to 3rd, Adam 4th. Goat goes up No, he's still in last, actually. Apologies. A 49.9, only good enough for a 12th place. So, just for a little bit of reference for the viewers watching at home, DJ Stefko and Captain Lowside with 48.7 and a 48.8. Half a second ahead of Zuzu, who's currently in third. And then the gap from Zoo down to Goat in 12th. So third to 12th is 0.6 of a second. And Goat is 0.2 up on that time. So if the extended timer allows, he might be able to jump ahead of Squiddy here. As the rest of the pack coming towards the line. Showman improves. Apex improves. Nothing from Goat. He's not improved there. So, Stefko and Captain making up the front row, Zoo and Adam on the second, Seckers and Showman, the scooter reappearing on the third row, Apex and Tombo, the Drive 25 pairing, making up the fourth row, Scooter and Corbin, former teammates, on the fifth, and making up the sixth row of the grid, Squiddy and Goat.
I think the Drive 25 guys there have missed a bit of an opportunity. They had three guys in this division that could have gotten together and really pushed that pace, and it seems like they've gotten a little bit caught up somewhere and have I think really missed an opportunity there. But well done to DJ Stefko getting pushed along by that madly fast Suzuki. What a great effort that is to get that McLaren on pole.
Yeah, 48.7 is a cracking time, and something I'd expect to see maybe if a whole train is following the Suzuki being able to bump it along, but the two of those have managed a very rapid time, half a second ahead of third. Which is Zoo in the AMG, which we missed in the introductions as everyone came around to set lap times very quickly. We also have Adam V10 in the Corvette here. Who else did we miss? I think we missed Goat. No, we covered Goat, so that will be our field. As you see there on the screen, Stefko, Lowside, Zoo, Adam, Seckers, Showman, Apex, Tombo, Scooter, Corbin, Squiddy, and Goat. Missing Dale here tonight from the damn Hexicans, as they missed the replacement form, unfortunately. And it's probably a great round to have a replacement driver in, as it can be anyone's game come the end of this. We've got 73 laps to work through.
73 laps of beautiful sunshine. Looking at the weather forecast, sunshine and more sunshine. Looks like we're going to have a fine race with great weather, which is going to make for great racing.
And we are away. The countdown is on. And we'll see the entire grid get set just before the start-finish line. We've got a couple of 100 metres run up to the start-finish line here. Once we all start moving. So that McLaren on pole, I don't think many would have seen that coming. Probably expecting the Suzuki to take that, but
I think that Mercedes will make some inroads pretty quickly towards the front.
Here we go, they're rolling.
Rapid off the start.
Flags in the air. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Go racing, boys.
And we're going now. The McLaren has got a great jump, half a second clear of Lowside already, but Lowside in the superior Suzuki closes that gap real quick. Looks like everyone has slotted into line astern here. Getting onto that low line, we already do have a breakaway from our top five. 1 second gap back to Showman already.
Yeah, and that looks like it's increasing at a fast rate of knots too. Those guys at the back of the pack are going to be panicking, going to be trying to work together to bridge that gap. They do not want to get left behind at the start of this race.
Yeah, and speaking of getting left behind, Lowside and Stefko are already on it, half a second clear of this pack of three. If Zoo's already in the fuel map, he could be costing them a slipstream here, so he's really got to be careful about his choices. The triple slip between Zoo, Adam, and Seckers, barely enough to make inroads on Stefko and Lowside there at the front. And down in 6th place, they're too wide. Apex and Tombo looking to take the high line. Corbin tucked in behind them as well. Showman's hung out to dry a little bit, has Scooter in behind who doesn't have enough speed to bump. Squiddy now coming in behind the train of Drive 25 guys. And Scooter and Goat falling back off the pack already as well, so we've already got a few groups starting to form. Squiddy's a little bit out of line here as well. Got to be very careful not to get caught out and lose the slipstream there, as the Mustang is one of the weaker cars around this track.
So it looks like the race has developed into three individual packs now. We've got the 2 cars off the front, we've got a group of 3, and then a group of 5, and then we've got the 2 guys at the back.
In that group of 3, Zoo has just been rotated to the back of the field. Adam and Seckers have gone by, looking to try and close that gap up to Stefko on low side.
It looks like Zoo's getting dropped
already.
quickly as well, so... But,
he's coming back now. He's inviting that pack from 6th back, which is pretty much the entirety of the field, back into the race here.
It looks like those guys might all want to get together and see if they can bridge the gap between the world's best push vehicle and DJ Stefko.
Yeah, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on the fuel of our top 2 there, but all the action's going to be happening in the mid-pack now, as that gap between Apex and Zoo now down to 0.3 of a second, 0.6 back to Corbin, who might be doing a bit of fuel saving. Does have Squiddy to give him bumps, not the greatest push car, as the Mustang has probably the shortest gearing out of every car in the field. Struggles to get to about 290, anything above that, and it's not too strong. So even getting the bump from Showman and Scooter and the likes behind him, he's barely able to catch up and give Corbin that bump to help him keep up with Apex and Tombo.
Yeah, we've got the Drive 25 guys, Apex and Tombo, line astern there, and followed closely by Corbin and Squiddy. And the Goat's doing well to hang on to the back of that pack. The Porsche is going to struggle a little bit here, but hopefully it'll be able to make its way towards the front at the later in the race.
Yeah, so 4 seconds to the top 2 now is the gap, so those guys are absolutely running away with it. Very interested to see when they decide to pit, as they're running a crazy pace, 290 plus for a majority of the lap here, whereas the rest of the field is probably averaging about 285-ish, losing that speed through corners.
Yeah, they've gone under 50 seconds a lap for each of the laps except for the first one, and just well, as I say, they've just popped into the 50s for the first time.
It looks like Scooter and Goat might be falling off the back of that pack now as well. 0.9 of a second up to Showman. I think it's going to be a long night for these 2 now, as they're either going to have to do it on fuel strategy or really find something out of nowhere.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this race. It's such a long race, and fuel strategy is going to be so important. If you can whittle your fuel out for a couple of extra laps and save a fuel stop, then you're going to come right back into it at the end of the race, right in the pack, and be competing. But it's really about how well this pack is going to deal with the 2 guys out in front who are just running away with this race.
Yeah, I don't know if it was planned there, but Zoo ended up on the high side and Seckers ended up taking the following position behind Adam. That's really closed that gap back to Apex and Tombo. And I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do. I feel like they might be trying to manage their fuel a little bit, as they could probably catch up to that pack of 3 ahead of them, but they always seem to float around that 0.3, 0.4 of a second range.
Yeah, and the three skylines are, nose to tail.
Oh, Scooter's just got fed up high there on the banking as well, so Goat's through. And that could be it for Scooter. That Aston really, really struggles in slipstream. He's up to 290s though. He's going to be enough to give Goat a bump. It's all it takes as well, just falling out of that slipstream at the wrong time, a big bump draft or something, and you're off the back. It can happen very quickly.
Yeah, you give the guy in front of you a boost, and that inevitably boosts him too far up the circuit, and then you lose the slipstream, and then, you know, you're falling off the back. So you really have to be careful about how you bump a driver, especially if they're in a car that's faster than yours.
Yeah, certainly, and I definitely think there's some fuel conservation going on between Tombo and Apex here. Probably Corbin as well. I'm not sure if they're all in chat or not. But
looks like Adam is really suffering on fuel usage out of that group so far. So he's
most definitely
significantly worse than everybody else.
As is Squiddy. Showman's got fed up to the high side, and Goat has got underneath him here as well. So Goat's slowly making progress through the field in that Porsche, using the slipstream, taking out some of the weaker cars.
As he dives to the bottom.
Oh, he's below Corbin now as well. They're 3 wide. Showman could give Squiddy a bump and could see them two go through. Corbin now realising, giving a flash of the headlights to Goat as well, saying we got to get a move on. We don't want to fall out of that slip.
So that's great that's a great driving from Goat, realising that he's, you know, gonna get dropped off if he's on the back of the pack, and has moved up, and he's split the Drive 25 guys. So now if he can just sit there and keep an eye on Apex, which is, you know, who his championship rival is, then, you know, this could be a good result.
Yeah, something I just noticed there as well. Goat was in a really strong slipstream, was reaching about 300 kilometers an hour, lifted off the throttle rather than going for the bump. Now up the inside of Tombo on the high side of the track. Apex moving up to help Tombo. So we could see the Drive 25 pairing go back through here. No, they decided to tuck in, so definitely a lift from Apex there, managing that fuel yet again.
And Scooter's dropped off the back of the pack now and is falling off at a fairly rapid pace. So that's unlucky for Scooter.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for Scooter. I'm sure the Aston is a strong car for the rest of the Group 3 rounds that we have ahead of us, but this is definitely the weak point for it, unfortunately.
And the two guys out the front are now out to an 11-second lead after 11 laps. So those guys are just absolutely pumping it.
They're definitely going to be stopping more.
They're not going to be stopping more than Adam.
No, that's for sure.
That's for sure. But they look like they're... And Scooter as well. Scooter's in a lot of fuel trouble. But the rest of the field looks fairly similar. Squiddy's not looking too great, but the rest of the field is all looking very similar on fuel, and even the two guys at the front are not using that much more than the guys in the pack behind them. So
absolutely not a full second elapsed worth more out of the two. But while we are talking of these two up front, some of you at home might be thinking that McLaren looks awfully familiar. That beautiful red and yellow or red and orange livery on it. And we've got a bit of information about that. So being a Daytona round, we have been allowed to change up from the team liveries and go for something in the spirit of Daytona, whether it be real-life NASCARs from games or from movies like Talladega Nights, for example, those kinds of things. So DJ Stefko has gone with a livery from one of the cars you would get to use in the Daytona USA arcade game. And I gotta say, I think it fits that McLaren beautifully.
Dare I say it, it does maybe look a little bit, a little bit like a previous team livery that was on a McLaren.
Oh, they're in.
That's early.
That is very early.
So obviously, let's see if they are going to take tyres as well. Looks like it. No, just fuel at this stage.
Right. very interesting that they would do it now. Maybe they needed to get to that 13 lap window, and now they can run long and just do a couple more stops. Would it be 3 more stops, both fully fueled? Lowside has got out ahead of Stefko in the pits. There goes Scooter. So Scooter will have a bit of company for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Strategy, though.
that's a very interesting strategy, and I think they're running the race backwards, I think, a little bit. Like, instead of splashing at the end of the race and making a short dash, it looks like they're going to do it at the start and then run long at the end. Which could be a really, really good strategy for them as normal service resumes, and the Suzuki is going to push that McLaren around like an old dirt track push car. You know, when the sprint cars used to stall and the push car would come out and restart them. That's
the one.
This is what it reminds me of. But Cap's going to push that McLaren around, and those guys are going to continue to set really, really nice lap times.
Yes, and just going back to the wonderful livery of DJ Stefko there, he has provided a little bit of information on it as to why he decided to choose this livery. So he said that he likes to think outside the box, and seeing as the Daytona USA was one of the most played games at the arcade, you couldn't not run something like this. What could be more iconic than racing a Daytona USA car around Daytona? And mentions a big shout out to Gimp Man, who I know has made quite a few of the liveries throughout the field as well.
Yeah, he's been a busy boy as Scooter tries to jump in on the back of them and then immediately gets dropped.
Yeah, he's also going to run out of fuel in about a lap or two's time, is poor Scooter there.
And let's see what's happening at the front of the pack now, as Adam V10 has been leading the pack for the whole race and is going to have to pit probably in the next lap or so.
Yeah, maybe even this lap. That's it's getting right towards the danger zone there.
And the guys behind him have been saving fuel nicely.
So Adam out of pit sync. Seckers takes over the race lead.
Yeah, in the mellow yellow livery. That's I think is that the Cole Trickle car?
It is the Cole Trickle car, from Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. Yeah, I want you to go and hit the NASCAR. I want to go hit the pace car.
Yeah, well, the pace car's in the pits right now. Poor Scooter just pulling in to refuel. But something I just want to quickly bring up is Corbin has fallen off the back of this pack at some point as well. So not quite sure how or when that happened, but he's 1.4 back and losing.
Yeah, it just goes to show you, if you lose the train, it is a lonely, lonely race there by yourself.
Yep, and man, I gotta say, that mellow yellow 888 looks pretty good at the front. Oh, we've got a pack of cars into the pits.
Yeah,
Apex,
the Drive 25
Tombo,
guys.
Corbin, plus Squiddy.
The Drive 25 guys are all in, and Squiddy was following them, so he's followed them in.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see where they come out of the pits in relation to Adam, who has his left indicator on as he's coming on to the start-finish stretch of the track. So there's Apex, Tombo, Corbin out of the pits, Squiddy a little bit off the back of them. I think Adam's going to join in right onto the back of these guys, possibly right with Squid, who will really need it. And our lead pack go around again.
Yeah, and the net leading group in Captain Lowside and Stefko are catching that front group at a massive rate of knots. So,
yeah, they made up about 0.7 of a second last time around.
Yeah, so we've got Seckers, Zoo, Goat, and Showman in the top 4 positions, and then Stefko and Captain Lowside in the group behind them. Then we have Drive 25 in Apex, Tombo, and Corbin, with Squiddy, who's dropped off the back of that group. I think he may have taken a bit more fuel than those guys.
He did. He took about 8 litres more, which adds up to about a second. And well, if he was 0.6, a second up the road, he'd be 0.6 behind Corbin and happily in that slipstream.
But it's so hard to know what the guys in front of you are going to do if you're not in their, in their group. Those guys, the Drive 25 guys, are obviously in communication with one another, and they know what they're doing, working as a team. And it's left Squiddy a little bit out in no man's land there.
Alrighty. Might bring our attention back up to that lead pack. Fuel running very low for a majority. Couple could go another lap. We'll see Seckers coming by. He's decided to stay out. Is the whole pack deciding to go around one more time?
Who's first to blink is the question. None of them want to pit on their own, so they're all going to wait to see what the lead guy does, and they're gonna copy him. So they all go in together, and hopefully all come out together.
Yeah, and not that the following cars would know unless they are in chat with each other, but the lead car is definitely the lowest on fuel by about 5 litres. Zoo's been saving fuel quite well here. He could probably go another lap if he really needed to, but
Goat's
Seckers
probably
is on for target 0 here.
Goat could probably go around again as well. Showman's fairly low, but
Indicators
they're going
on from Seckers.
Yep,
Just letting
letting everybody know, and they all follow each other in.
There we go, flying into the pits at 280 kilometres an hour. Good luck slowing them ones down.
Yep.
But just a final mention on that livery of Seckers as to why he decided to run that one, and he just says he is a massive Days of Thunder fanboy, so how could you not want to run the Cole Trickle car?
Yeah, it's iconic film, and one of the best car racing movies that I think's ever been made. So it would be a disservice for it not to be used in our Daytona round.
Here we go. All of these cars emerging from the pits. Here come the Drive 25 guys, Apex and Tombo. There goes Corbin. The whole field has cleared them. They've cleared the rest of the field, the other pack. And Zoo has come out leading this one from Goat. Showman just off the back, and Seckers a full second back. Here comes Adam and Squiddy as well.
They're going to push Seckers? Yep.
They certainly are. Oh, a bit of awkward contact between Squiddy and Adam there, but they have well and truly launched Seckers back up to that pack there.
Shot him like a rocket.
And now he joins back up to his Scuderia Quadrifoglio teammate in Showman there.
And Adam has definitely come off worse for wear in that exchange.
He has, and Squiddy cannot get fast enough to bump him as he's right at the top of the gearing, 290, 292-ish, and he's really struggling to catch up to give Adam a bump. Which, it would be very unfortunate if they have just boosted Seckers back up to this pack ahead just to drop off themselves. They are taking a midline through the corner. They could be a bit lower to try and minimise the amount of track they're driving, but bumps going on up ahead is starting to close the gap slowly.
And Seckers has forgot to go. Oh no, he's just cancelled it. I was going to say he's forgot to cancel his indicator. It looks like Adam and Squiddy have caught back up as well, so...
Yep, and Adam caught up with no thanks to Squiddy as he's managed to sit at about 290 for the entire run there, but I feel like the race is fairly settled and it would probably be a great time to hear some words from our wonderful sponsors.
scrub again with Easy Clean. Whether it's the shower or bath, grouting, patio, or even the kitchen sink, Easy Clean's advanced surface treatments restore, protect, and seal surfaces, reducing your cleaning time by up to 90%. With their lifetime guarantee, you can restore your surfaced areas to their original sparkling condition with effortless ease. Call 1300 146 136 or visit easyclean.com.au today. That's EasyClean.com.au. Easy Clean today for an easier clean tomorrow.
I'm a gamer, a foodie,
a boss lady. I am sporty,
outdoorsy,
outspoken. I am fashion.
I am old-fashioned.
What I am not
is the same.
But none of us are.
We are all individuals with unique interests, needs, and goals.
We believe that everyone should have the right to live the life they want for themselves.
Whether it be exploring the world,
dog walking,
or binge watching their favorite show.
So instead of searching for the things that we do the same,
let's champion the things that set us apart.
Because we're not innovating for disabilities.
We're innovating for individuals.
So yes, thank you very much to all our wonderful sponsors here at Wheel2Wheel Racing. We very much appreciate their continued support as we run through Season 13 now. And again, just massive thank you to sponsors that have decided to become team sponsors this season. That being Hybrid Ag, jumping on board with the Drive 25 trio right now as we see them run from 3rd through to 5th. We've also got 180 Embroidery, who's part of Team Dodgy Racing, which DJ Stefko, our current race leader, is a part of. We, of course, have AMS Excavations, part of the Damn Hexicans, which would be Squiddy in that Mustang. And we have Easy Clean supporting Scuderia Quadrifoglio, currently running 6th and 7th. And then, of course, just a massive thank you to our major sponsor here for the season, being Permobile, deciding to jump on board with us for all 18 rounds of Season 13.
Yeah, it's really great to have great sponsors, and we certainly appreciate all their support and all their assistance. And if you get a chance, jump on to any of their websites and check them out and support them if you can.
Absolutely. We love supporting the people that support us. So, absolutely, if you need any of those services, please don't hesitate to get in contact with those guys. With those guys, apologies. And after that, go ahead there, Viper.
Normal service has resumed at the front of the pack. DJ Defco is being pushed around by Captain Lowside, and they have opened up a 30-second lead over the Drive 25 trio of Apex, Tombo, and Corbin.
Yeah, just behind that trio, we do have that Scuderia grouping of Seckers and Showmen, so the teamwork really coming into play, maybe pre-organised strategies between Stefco and Captain throughout the week, we don't know. And then we have the privateer group of Zoo and Adam, joined by Goat, who doesn't have any friends in Div 1 at the minute, so he's kind of just hanging about with these guys. And then we have Squiddy and Scooter, who unfortunately is having a rough old time, 40 seconds off the back of 11th. Speaking of 11th, we will go back to Squiddy for a second to admire that wonderful Reese's livery there. So that is a Kevin Harvick livery. Looks pretty good. I did enjoy it. Love Reese's. Very enjoyable product, and it looks incredible on that Mustang. That Mustang is an incredible platform for liveries, just in general. It's,
yeah, everything looks good on that thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a very nice sight for Squiddy and that Reese's Pieces car as the leaders are just about to come up behind him and put him a lap behind.
I'm sure he's overjoyed about that, just for the simple fact that he will have a slipstream buddy again.
I don't think it'll last very long.
Yeah, whether he can keep up with this duo is... the speed difference is incredible. Squiddy going 277 through the corner. Stefko and Lowside, just a casual 295.
Yeah,
so,
he's immediately getting dropped.
He's there for a little, and then just up ahead is Adam, Zoo, and Goat, almost about to go a lap down as well. So this pairing of Stefko and Lowside, speaking of, they are low on fuel, so they've gone 20 laps. And that would explain their strategy. So 13, and then 20 laps to 33, 20 laps to 53, and then 20 laps to the finish. 70.
So dividing up the race nicely, and obviously these guys, being the only two drivers for their teams in the race, have come up with a plan together and are executing it to perfection.
Yeah, absolutely expect to see them duck into the pits here. Oh, that trio should be getting out of their way as they lapped cars, but into the pits they go. And they've got enough of a gap to already hold off the Drive 25 pairing, I believe.
Will we see a tyre change?
I'm sure
no
we
tyre
will.
change.
No, wow. The rear tyres of that Suzuki are looking a little bit second-hand, about 50% wear on the rear right, so maybe going one more time.
Gonna triple stint the hards and run this off to the end by the looks of it.
He's, doing the old Lightning McQueen. No tyres, just fuel, and away they go. Again, Captain Lowside has jumped Stefko on pit exit there.
And they are going to come out in front of the... Can they get up to speed and keep them at bay?
That would be pretty huge if they could, even if just for a few laps, as Lowside's hanging up high, Stefko tucking in. We could see a change of lead here. There we go, Apex taking the high side, Stefko pulling out as well. Here come the Drive 25, through they go. Stefko taking the lead role of their duo, but not enough to hold off the Drive 25 guys yet.
I think it's just a matter of time before we see Stefko and Captain get together and just mosey on past these three.
Yep, we hear that Suzuki really starting to wind up now. Oh, we've got Squiddy exiting the pits as well. And unfortunately, there goes your slipstream, Squiddy. It is long gone. Adam in the pits, but Zoo and Goat have kept going. Oh, there's a lot going on in our top 5 right now. We've got the high line and the low line. Drive 25 trio versus the duo of Stefko and Captain. 2 very fast cars versus 3 fast cars, but not quite as fast as that Suzuki. I wouldn't even argue that the McLaren's very fast. I'd say it's about average, if not just below it. But... Oh, and the Drive 25 guys are in the pits. There we go. That clears the way for Stefko and Captain to resume normal service. And who is that? Adam about to go a lap down here as he comes out of the pits. Looks like... No, Lowside's backing off a little. Look to be maybe trying to help Adam out, maybe? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Or maybe it looked like he had put his hazards on. He might have been in auto drive for a second. He might have had an issue. Had to plug in a controller or a headset or something, maybe. Well, I believe Lowside is on Fanatec gear, and he's mentioned that every now and then he has a couple of problems with it, whether it be the steering, you lose all force feedback, or it gets really heavy, but a quick pause and away you go again and it'll fix it, so... Yeah, I think that's probably, must have been what it was. Who's that on the pit exit? I believe that's Scooter. Whoa! A little bit of a miscommunication there. Scooter went to go up high to get out of the way while these guys were coming at about 100 kilometers an hour faster. So, slight heart attack for the captain, I'm sure, but back to the regularly scheduled programming.
So Showman and Seckers in that the Scuderia Quadrifoglio Jags, in that beautiful DuPont livery from Showman as well. That's a staple NASCAR livery there. I think it's
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon, yeah.
That's the 1995 Jeff Gordon livery.
That's a beautiful job there, done, I'm assuming, by Gimp Man again. Yeah, great livery there, very iconic, and great to see it as the lights start to take effect and we move into the evening. It's nothing better than Daytona under lights, is there? Like, it's just a great visual. The cars look fantastic under the lights. You can see the sparks. You see the, well, I was going to say brakes were glowing, but no one's going to see that tonight. It's it is a great visual when the lights get low at Daytona.
Yeah, so a little more on that Jeff Gordon livery there. Why Showman decided to run it. He's under orders from his other part-time driver, being KZ, the team captain, to run it. He says, because KZ told me to, he didn't get much choice in the matter. And in the terms of notable results, this is Jeff Gordon's first ever championship winning car. So it finished 22nd in the Daytona 500, but won the shorter Daytona race held later in the season, and yes, brought him his first championship in 1995. So absolutely an iconic livery around Daytona.
Yeah, that Gordon name is really synonymous with NASCAR, and he's one of the most iconic drivers in NASCAR, so it's great to see that livery out on the track tonight.
Yeah, and it looks like this pairing has picked up a squid who's suction cupped onto the back of them.
Oh, yeah, he's finally found a dance partner.
They are, well, you say that, these guys are going to pit probably at the end of this lap.
Oh, no, Squid, no!
They have just brought Squiddy back up to Adam and Scooter as well, so they brought Squiddy back up to Adam so he could have a bit of a dance partner there. Those bump drafts all around. But yeah, very much expect to see the Scuderia pairing pull off to the pits this time around.
It's going to be really interesting to see where they come out in relation to Drive 25.
I think the Drive 25 guys have got them on pace, but these they're not on for any less stops, so could be quite interesting.
I just wonder if they might short fill and try and back end, or if they're going to change tyres. They might change tyres here.
Yeah, well, they've done 20 and 20, I believe, so we could see them fuel up for another 20 and then finish with 13, or we could see them... No, they've been there quite a while. They're going to the brim of the tank here.
Yeah.
So we should see them back in at about lap 60-ish for a run to the finish.
Just thought they might have short fueled to try and get track position. But,
yeah, maybe thinking for that later track position with the final stops.
Yep. And are they going to come out with anybody? Nope. They're going to come out.
Quite clear. Zoo and Goat were the closest cars to them, and they are rolling out of pit lane now. So 10 seconds roughly to the rear of that Drive 25 trio. And they have about 15 seconds back to Goat and Zoo, who've been separated a little bit through the pit stop, but have Adam and Squiddy coming to join along, so we could see a pack of 4 form up here again.
Yeah, it looks like Squiddy's finally found someone to dance with, and see if he and Adam
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah, see if he and Adam, and it looks like we've got to force them together. Oh no, what's happened to Zoo?
Adam has taken the high line there, and Squiddy has given him an almighty bump. He's gone through past Goat, and Squiddy's taken the spot off of Zoo, who could be doing a bit of fuel saving at the back of the pack here, maybe.
Yeah, and if these 4 guys get together, they could make some inroads into Showman and Seckers.
Yeah, only 16 seconds up to that duo, so
If these 4 guys can work together, then there's a good chance that they can catch the 2 guys in front. It's a matter of whether they're going to battle or whether they're going to work together.
Yeah, and speaking of these 4 guys, we've got another beautiful livery leading them at the moment in Adam V10. So apparently this car was driven in a All-Stars race back in 1999 by, again, Jeff Gordon. So
DuPont logo on the side there.
Yep. So yeah, the 1999 All-Stars race, and his reasoning for running it is, well, he found it already made on GT7. So
I think that's a good reason for a lot of people to run their liveries for this week.
It's certainly a beautiful livery. I love the small detail of the tires, being given the yellow bands, so they look just like the NASCARs going around. Looks wonderful.
Yeah, it's very good. It's great to see. I love these retro / themed livery rounds. I think they really add a great lot of interest to the races, and it's certainly very visually appealing on stream, and you guys get to see the great creativity that a lot of our livery guys in our league and that are on GT7. I mean, these things literally take hours. I mean, these guys are so talented and so the attention to detail on some of them is fantastic, and it just takes forever to do. So I'm envious of some of the guys who can put these things together.
Absolutely, the likes of Molten Ash, Gitman, those two are big when it comes to creating a lot of retro round liveries. I know Corbin has made, I'm not sure about all, he's made at least 2 of the Drive 25 ones, but yeah, some very, very talented and patient livery creators in Wheels to Wheel is one thing I found. I struggle to sit there and take the time to make it perfect and pretty, and absolutely admire the work that these guys do.
Yeah, if I can't find it ready to go on the GT Sports search, it probably not going to happen.
And while we're still talking about all these liveries, we'll jump on with Zoo, who's at the back of this pack here, and he's running quite an iconic livery.
That one looks familiar.
The Richard Petty Plymouth there, the number 43, very iconic. Some of the younger generation might know it from the Cars movie, The King. Absolutely, he's nailed the colour. He said it's his 2nd ever livery, and while not too difficult of one, I think he's absolutely nailed it there on the Merc. It looks great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. That colour is perfect. And, it's great to see, some of the older NASCAR liveries getting a run as well. With guys like, Richard Petty. He's a class NASCAR driver from back in the day, and it's great to see it adorned on that Mercedes.
Yeah, I will say I'm a little sad that nobody up in the top split here has gone with the man, in my eyes, when I think of NASCAR, the Intimidator himself.
Number 3,
Dale Earnhardt.
Dale Earnhardt, yeah.
But, obviously there's plenty of other flashy ones to pick out. Oh, Squiddy.
Oh, that could be a penalty. That could drop him out of... Has he gotten away with it?
He has gotten away with it.
Oh, that was so close. That could have very easily been a 2.5 penalty there, and could have absolutely dropped him out of this group.
I think I know what's happened to him there as well. So I believe you were in the chat earlier as well when we found out Squiddy is on controller, not a wheel this week, and not only has he gone to controller for one race, he is on motion controls. So I feel like that might have been a bit of slip of the hand or something, and he's gone pointing sharp left there.
Yeah, he might have forgot he was on motion sense and leant over to get a drink or something, and as right angled left, and almost got a penalty.
Yeah. So while we're doing our our tour of liveries here. I feel like the next stop is poor Scooter. I feel horrible for him, but it's part of how it goes on. Really, this wonderful 82 livery, and there's quite a bit of history for Scooter there and this livery. So, when asked why he's chosen to run this livery here as the Drive 25 guys coming up behind, Scooter has said that he has an old keychain of a Ford Thunderbird that he's had for as long as he can remember. The paint has entirely worn off it and it's practically worthless, but it means a lot to him. So he thought it would be fitting to run the livery inspired by one of the most iconic Thunderbirds to race. So quite a lovely story behind why he's decided to run this one. You know, it's something that has a bit of sentimental feeling to him. So it's really cool.
Yeah, that's very cool, and I'm actually running the sister livery, the more modern livery of that car on my car this round. So, the Dale Allison version of it on the Porsche. So it's a beautiful livery. The Texaco Haviland livery, and that Texaco livery has got a bit of history in Australia too, with the Australian touring cars and those Ford Sierras running that Texaco livery. So it's very iconic in motorsport in both countries.
Absolutely, and just a little further information on that one. So the Haviland Texaco livery was run in 1992 by Roush Yates Racing. Picked up 5 victories in 1992, including the Daytona 500. And the driver, Davey Allison, would finish 3rd in the championship. And it was quite a close finish that year. He was in contention until the very last round. So it had a wonderful year back in the day there as well. And took out the Daytona 500. So again, a very fitting livery to have here.
Yeah, it's great to see so many great liveries, so many great cars, drivers, and so much great history. I mean, this track has such great history. I mean, it was commissioned by the Daytona Beach Council, and it was commissioned by NASCAR all the way back in 1957. So it was started building in 1957. They moved 100. Where is it? They over 1 million square yards of soil from the infield of the track to make the banking. And when they moved the banking, the infield filled up with water, and that's what's created the lake that's on the inside of the infield at Daytona. It's called Lake Lloyd, and the Daytona founder, the NASCAR founder, actually commissioned speedboat races in that lake before the track was even opened. So racing has been happening at Daytona even before Daytona was opened as a speedway.
There you go, and yeah, back in the day they ran the cars on the beach and everything as well. So, as our lead pair come into the pits, surely we see
tyre change.
We see a tyre change.
Has to happen. There it goes.
Yep. Both drivers, so definitely communicating well, this pair. And long fuel stop. I have a feeling they've got the Drive 25 pairing covered off again. 20 laps to the finish now for that lead pair. This is their final stop.
Got to get all of that fuel in. Can't miss a single micromillimeter of fuel. These guys are going to go all the way to the end.
Oh, onto the mediums. There goes Zoo and I believe Goat there. And where are the Drive 25 pairing?
They've got them
there they are. So
easily covered.
There it is. And again, while we won't mention it quite just yet because this Drive 25 group are all going to come into the pits at the end of this one. But we will touch on all 3 of their liveries on the other side of their pit stop there. I have to commend them for working together quite well though, as we've had some disastrous team performances in previous seasons. Got to bring back the the Milo team that always managed to be in an incident in a race, and that incident just happened to involve multiple of their cars, usually taking each other out. So
yes, the Milo livery is iconic in wheel to wheel, and there's been far less team on team action since that livery disappeared. So maybe it's just something to do with those cars.
well, the damn Hexicans gave them a run for their money the last time we were at Daytona last season, with Adam and Apex colliding into turn 1 and having an absolute nightmare that round. That was pretty good quality. 2 out of the races, both races, they came together, so it was a good run for the money, but I think Milo still has them covered.
Oh, yeah, easily has them covered. Let's see how these guys come out in relation to the Scuderia Quadrifoglio guys.
So the Scuderia guys are 36 seconds was the gap. Waiting to see that. There we go. So 36.2 seconds is the gap. The Scuderia duo are going to be able to short fuel on this final stop as well. So it could be very, very interesting there. Our lead duo going around the outside of Zoo and Goat as well at the minute. So putting another lap on those boys. Richard Petty going a lap down.
See if they can jump onto the back of these guys and make their way up to the Drive 25 boys.
Yeah, the Drive 25 boys are only, what's that, 3 seconds up the road? It's not a whole lot, so...
Nope.
But yeah, speaking back on those Drive 25 guys, and we'll start at the back with Tombo back in his Viagra livery. I believe he ran that in, goodness, maybe season 8, maybe season 7. It was quite a while ago now that they decided to run that one. But when asked why he's gone with this livery, he said it's a great tribute to a product that has ensured many happy marriages and created thousands of children, and also a little nod to the livery that won his first championship as a team owner. So that Viagra livery there was run on a Ford Taurus by Roush Racing in 2004, driven by Mark Martin. And in 2004, its best result was a victory at the Dover International Speedway. So, yeah, it's got a win under its belt in NASCAR. It's got a Teams Championship win under its belt in Tombo's eyes. It's a beautiful recreation. I feel like the Nissan is similar to that Ford Mustang, and it's just such a big, flat canvas that a lot of recreations look wonderful on it.
Yeah, they certainly do too. And that 199 car, the iconic M&M's car, I don't think you've watched motor race. If you've watched any motor racing in your life, you have seen this car at some point. It is it's one of the iconic liveries from all of motorsport.
Yes, and CCH wanted me to state that he is not running the Kyle Busch version of the livery, that he is running the Elliott Sadler version from the 2005 season. He wanted me to make sure that was mentioned, as Kyle Busch has very much hate him or love him.
Reputation.
Reputation, yes. So in 2005, it picked up a second at Bristol Motor Speedway. And when asked why he's decided to go with the M&M's livery, he said, growing up and watching some NASCAR and some NASCAR games, the M&M's livery was always his favourite. Always had a very large soft spot for these cars, and also a wheel-to-wheel throwback of the Season 7 livery there as well. So, which was part of the same team as Tombo there, winning the team's championship.
Yeah, great to see that livery. I would have been disappointed if I didn't see an M&M's livery car at Daytona for this round. It would have been very, very disappointing.
Yeah, I agree. And as we move on to our third livery, of the group, with Apex Humper, I would like to mention that CCH has actually made all 3 of these liveries for the team. So he's put in some time to get these cars looking as good as they are.
Yeah, they look fantastic.
Absolutely. The GoDaddy Danica Patrick livery here from Apex. It's not a whole lot of remarkable results from that car, but he said he listens to a little bit of a podcast where she speaks, and he enjoys when she presents the F1 when it's over in America. And said that her first NASCAR race was the Daytona 500 in 2012. So, yeah, it's quite a well-known livery if you've watched any kind of NASCAR in the past 10 years or so. But very rarely towards the front of the field.
Danica Patrick is just a great icon of female motorsport in not only in America but around the world. She's definitely a trendsetter and definitely has broken some glass ceilings in motorsport for women to follow. So
certainly in NASCAR and IndyCar as well. So absolutely, and I'm all about seeing everyone get their go. So like you said, glad to see her break some of those glass ceilings and open up the door for more females to get into motorsport. Off the top of my head, Hayley Deegan is one of the big ones who I think is coming up at the moment in the Craftsman Truck Series. So, yeah, definitely, like you said, open the door, and it's great to see motorsport being inclusive to everyone.
Yeah, that's right. It's just good to see some great diversity coming through, and it's great to see young girls and other people who necessarily wouldn't think that they could go and be in motorsport have gotten those opportunities now. So it's great to see, and she's been a great part of that. So it's great to see that tribute. And it looks great on that Nissan too. Fantastic job from Corbin to recreate that one.
Certainly does. And with 10 laps to go now, I feel like it's a great time to take everyone for a quick run through the field. So starting at the top with this duo again, Stefco leading from low side. Could be very interesting come the last lap. I feel like that Suzuki might have the steam to pull out of the slip and take the race win, and I'm sure Stefco, after being pushed around for an hour, is probably pretty happy to.
Yeah, I think that's the price to be paid. I think that's the toll for being pushed by that car is you just move over and let him go through for the win.
Yeah, so we have those two inseparable for 54 minutes now. And in third place, third, fourth, fifth is that Drive 25 pairing, 45 seconds to the rear, about 2 or 3 seconds up the road from Stefco and Lowside, actually, just on track. But we have Apex from Corbin and Tombo making up the back of these 3. So, well driven from these guys. That pairing of McLaren and Suzuki is pretty hard to beat. So they've done well, and I wonder if there's going to be a shuffle for the podium, or if these guys are going to give it to Apex in his hopes to take out the championship, and if Tombo's going to slot into second, or if it's just fair game come the last few laps.
Well, I don't know, man. Like, all 3 of those guys are super competitive, and I've been in a team with Tombo before, and there's never really been any team orders, so it could be interesting, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, regardless, it's going to be a big swing in the teams championship for a third, fourth, and fifth from Drive 25. Could see them go straight towards the top. But just behind the Drive 25 trio there, we still have this pairing of the Scuderia drivers, Showman and Seckers, cruising around together at quite a bit of pace, and they are 7 seconds to the rear of the Drive 25 pairing, so they couldn't quite make up the time with the short fuel in the last stop, but they're still in it in case the likes of say Tombo or Corbin kind of gets underneath another and you know, a car goes wild
Yeah.
or a back marker gets in the way. They're both right there to capitalise on any mistakes of the pair ahead.
Yeah, if those Drive 25 guys trip over themselves, these two guys here are going to be right there waiting to mop up the mess and take those podium spots.
Certainly are. Just behind Seckers and Showman, quite a bit down the road, is Zoo and Goat, who have been circulating together for a majority of this. So, not the pairing I would have expected to see here, the Porsche and the Merc, but about 40 seconds to the rear of Showman and Seckers, the Scuderia pairing. So, just circulating now. These guys have a 28-second gap back to Squiddy, who's in the Mustang, probably half asleep, still trying to use the motion controls at this point.
They're just about to get lapped by the Drive 25 guys, and following close behind them is the leaders, who are going to come up and lap the Drive 25 guys. So,
Goat trying to make a move on Zoo here as well, trying to take the lead of that pairing.
That's a lovely move. That's great. Well done.
There's an absolute spark show going on from Captain Lowside's point of view right now as well.
Yeah.
Here they come, the leaders going around the outside of Zoo, who's trying to hang on to the back of Goat, who has said, thanks for helping me for 57 minutes, I'll see you later.
Yeah. And,
can this duo do it, though? Oh, low sides into the wall a little bit. That low line is definitely the way to go.
Oh, especially when there's 4 cars, you know, pushing that train along. But we have seen these, the Merc and the McLaren and the Suzuki have just been mighty around the outside of everyone. So once they get on the straight, I don't think these 4 cars will be able to hold them out.
Yeah, I feel like these guys definitely have to run more of a mid-line to try and get that momentum. Goat kind of floating about in no man's land on the inside there. While we're on board with that, I'll just give a quick mention to Adam V10, who's 4.5 seconds off the rear of Squiddy, and then an honourable mention to Scooter for sticking with it in a not ideal car. Oh, big bump given from low side to Stefko there. He's tucked into the back of the Drive 25 guys, and they're going to have to make their way by here.
Looks like Goat's tried to get onto the back of that Suzuki as well and try and help him get to the front.
Goat, he's burning a lot of bridges here, is Goat. And unfortunately for Zoo, after Goat's just said, yeah, see you later, he's fallen back with him, and Zoo can't really just drive past him, so he's going to have to work with him again to try and catch up.
Now with those, the Drive 25 guys now down to 3 cars, we should see those, the 2, yep, there they go, McLaren and Suzuki go right around the outside. I think that 4th car, Goat was only there for a short amount of time, but it was just pushing those Nissans along just enough to keep the leaders at bay. But
yeah, that's quite helpful for that Drive 25 trio, as well as now they're in the slipstream of the leaders. That's a little bit more reinforcement of that gap from Showman and Seckers, which dropped to about 6.4 seconds at that point.
This is going to help the fuel situation too for all the rest of the field. They're going to have to do one lap less than potentially than Stefko and Captain. So
yeah, and speaking of fuel, I'm just looking at the Scuderia duo. They have 25% fuel. They have a full lap extra of fuel. So that could be the difference come the end at this rate. Whether the trio of Drive 25 guys decided to underfuel, thinking they would get lapped, or if they've fueled for enough and the Scuderia guys have put in an extra lap, not considering that either. So
yeah, it's certainly going to make an interesting end of the race, and Goat and Zoo have joined onto the back of the Drive 25 train, who look like they've slowed a little.
It's absolutely slowing them down. It's down to 5.8 seconds to gap now.
It looks like the Drive 25 guys might be a little bit low on fuel. They might be running a fuel map. I mean, the Goat and Zoo have just caught up to them really, really easily.
So I've just had a little situation pop into my mind while looking at the fuel of our leading duo. Stefco has more fuel than Lowside. What if Lowside's pushed Stefco for all of this time just to run out of fuel before the line, and Stefco takes the win?
That would be not ideal.
Well, here we go. 2 corners remaining as we run down the back straight with our lead duo here. Stefco and Lowside nose to tail as they have been for 61 minutes.
There goes
high.
Stefco to the high. He's going to let Cap go through.
Thank you very much, Captain. You head on through. You've earned this one, mate. There it is. The bump along.
The amount of McLaren rear bumper that's on the front of that thing. Oh, no!
So, Lowside takes it from Stefco. Apex 3rd. Corbin 4th. Tombo 5th. Showman and Seckers 6th and 7th. Goat 8th. Zoo 9th. Squiddy is on the back straight looking to claim 10th. I think Scooter is going to beat him across the line, so we give Scooter his flowers here as he rounds the last corner, on the verge of running out of fuel. Unfortunate 3 minutes 51 seconds off the lead there. That's a really rough day out for Scooter, but credit to you for sticking in there. We've got Squiddy coming to the line now to claim a top 10, and Adam to take 11th. He was pulling in time on Squiddy, but not fast enough. There you have it, your winner, Captain Lowside from DJ Stefco, and Apex taking the final step of the podium there.
Yeah, that was some great strategy there by Captain Lowside and Stefco. We have to give it to them. An unlikely pairing have lapped the field, so they have put a lap on absolutely everyone on the field, and have brought this home 13 with the win. And Team Dodgy with a 2nd place. What a great result for those 2 teams. And then Drive 25, great team driving for those 3 guys. 3rd, 4th and 5th. That's going to be a huge boost in points for them for the team's championship. And Apex in 3rd, going to be a great boost for him for the drivers' championship. So everyone...
I have to say, I think Corbin will be a little dirty that he wasn't able to get by Apex, because his top result throughout all of his seasons, I believe he's been here since season 3, is a 4th place in Div 1. He's never managed to step onto the podium, and he's back in 4th again, but absolutely incredibly driven, and I'm sure that's going to have a huge swing in the team's championship there for Drive 25.
Yeah, congratulations again to Captain Lowside. What a great win. Suzuki, they're doing what we knew the Suzuki could do. Just getting out there, punching out those fast laps, and he has helped Stefco to a great result as well. So congratulations to all the guys.
Certainly, and we've got 2 of those to deal with in about 45 minutes. So
yes.
I am a little more concerned than I was previously. But yeah, absolutely, Lowside and Stefco nailing the strategy. And Drive 25 making up a majority of the top 5. Well done to the Scooter rear duo as well for bringing in 6th and 7th, and only
great
6
team
seconds
drive.
off of that trio as well.
Great drive from those 2 guys. Just got caught out by the numbers game. That one extra car in that Drive 25 train has made a massive difference to that result, and I think those guys have maximised their result in that race. I think that's a pretty good result for them.
Absolutely, and quite an entertaining race. There wasn't a whole lot of chopping and changing after about lap 10, but a lot of strategy played out there, and we got to showcase the creativity and inspiration behind some of the racing that these guys do here.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see a strategy game rather than than incidents and misbraking markers. Sometimes it's all about what you do with what you've got.
And we didn't have a big one.
No, I'm surprised. Yeah, surprised no one got turned around or sent into a wall and no penalties either. So
Yeah, I think after a slap on the wrist for a couple of Div 1 guys after last week, everyone kind of stepped into line quite well, and yeah, very well done by Div 1. I would expect nothing less out of them.
yeah, it's great, and it's great to see oval racing in wheel to wheel. Hopefully, we can do a little bit more of it as the seasons. Yeah, Blue Moon Raceway, where you actually have to use the brakes. But yeah, great result there for 13R, and I'm sure it was an entertaining race for for all the other guys as well.
Yeah, and with just before we close out the stream completely, I'll just give another mention to our wonderful sponsors here. Hybrid Ag, 180 Embroidery, AMS Excavations, Easy Clean, and Permobile. Big thank you again to all of those guys for keeping Wheel to Wheel going and helping us out, helping us bring you these streams every week.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I mean, we got great sponsors, and we really do appreciate them. But I think it's time for us to head off to our race.
Yeah, it certainly is. A big thank you to Hammy for doing the visuals here tonight. It's been a pleasure.
No worries.
And of course to yourself there, Viper, for joining me here in the commentary box for a great race at Daytona here.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. It's been a great race, a great commentary team, and really appreciate being on the air with you guys.
All right, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to wash your hands, and we'll see you soon for the Div 2 stream.